My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my favorite Underdog Fantasy entry for UFC 299. If you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than the numbers you see on the screen, and you can 20 times your money. You could even use some of these little chili peppers and get way more than that, up to 50 or 100 times your money. It is a ton of fun. It is super easy, and they will even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use to build an entry. You don't even need to use your real money, just the deposit match money. Build an entry, 20 times it, withdraw it, right off into the sunset. WeWantPicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. Let's go ahead and build this entry. I'm going to do UFC 299. That's what we do here. But if you see across the left on the bottom here, all these fancy little colors, this is all sports. You can mix and match. March Madness is coming up. Then we have the NBA Finals, hockey as well. All of those sports are in here. You can build your own entries. As I mentioned, we're going to focus on UFC 299. They have added a lot of new lines these last couple of cards, and I absolutely love it because we're going to hit a few of those off the rip. So we got Chito Vera. I don't like anything here. I don't think he's going to win by finish. I do think this fight is a decision, and because I think it's a decision, we're going to go to Sean O'Malley, and we're going to go to finishes lower. I don't think Sean O'Malley finishes Chito Vera. Even if he wins and dominates, Chito has proven to be insanely tough. He's never even been wobbled, let alone finished. Never been submitted, never been knocked down. Chito Vera is as tough as they come, so I'll take the under a finish on Sean O'Malley. And yeah, it's a little juiced, if you will, on the opposite direction. It's 0.7 times your money instead of an accumulator, but it's okay. We got a couple more lines in here that we're going to add. Benoit Saint Denis, the co-main event. I don't like anything in here. I don't know how that fight's going to go. I think Benoit's younger, dangerous, going to come forward, be aggressive, could potentially touch up Dustin, who was just knocked out. And we've seen a lot of these older fighters take a bad knockout, never be the same. But Dustin historically is insanely tough, insanely durable. He's the more skilled fighter in this matchup. I don't like any of these numbers. We'll leave that alone. I do like the less than a finish or lower than a half a finish on Kevin Holland. He's fighting Michael Venom Page. I personally think Venom Page wins this fight. I have a little bit of regret betting on Venom Page because Kevin Holland is just so tough, so durable, a very good fighter. But Venom Page is pretty durable as well. Obviously, he was finished in spectacular fashion, actually, by Douglas Lima, but that was it. And Douglas Lima is a monster. So I like this fight to not end in finish, and if it does end in finish, it's not going to be from Kevin Holland. So we're going to go the lower there as well. Michael Venom Page, I don't like any of those numbers. Jack Della Maddalena, another guy. I think he's going to beat Gilbert Burns. I think he's going to touch him up, do whatever he wants to do. You could do the higher on fight minutes. Gilbert is tough. The significant strike line is really tough at 62.5, especially if Gilbert tries to wrestle. So we're going to leave that alone. And the next line I like here is the Blades Almeida lines here. If we go Curtis Blades, 28.5 significant strikes. I'm going to go the lower there, and that protects me on both sides. If Jolton Almeida does not get the takedowns and Curtis Blades is swinging heavy, he can knock Jolton Almeida out, and he's not going to need 28.5 strikes to get there. He just won't. But if Jolton Almeida gets the takedowns, then 28.5, he's just going to get nowhere near there. If you go through every single one of Jolton Almeida's fights, never once has he allowed that many significant strikes to be landed. The most ever was 20, and it was Derek Lewis in a 5-round fight. That's how insanely dominant Jolton Almeida is. So even if this is 5 rounds and it looks exactly like Jolton's last fight, Curtis Blades doesn't land 28.5 significant strikes. Jolton Almeida has gotten past the number. He landed 38 against Derek Lewis. He landed 45 a few fights ago. So I like to go less on Curtis Blades here. Like I said, if Curtis Blades lands big, connects, and Chris Dawkins him, then he'll knock him out and he won't need 28 strikes to do it. But if Jolton gets the takedowns, it's nowhere near this 28 significant strikes. Macy Barber, that's another fight. I think it goes the distance. I think it's a whole bunch of pitter-patter for 15 full minutes, but we're going to go ahead and leave that alone. If there was a finish line on here, I would do the less on that. That fight definitely going to go to the decision. Mateusz Gamrot, 4 takedowns. He should cruise past that number. We will leave that out. Kyler Phillips, 1.5 takedowns. We're going to go lower there as well. If you go through Kyler Phillips' fight history, he's very, very insanely rarely getting 2 or more takedowns. And then if you go to Pedro Munoz's fight history, he has only been taken down 2 times. Once in his UFC debut, doesn't even count. The other time was like 6 years ago, and it was Frankie Edgar. Pedro Munoz has great takedown defense, great submissions, and he could keep these fights scrambling. And even if he is taken down once, he's not going to get taken down twice. And that's what you would need here for Kyler Phillips to get over the 1.5. The rest of these lines, I don't really like. There's nothing I want to do here. You have a couple of wild heavyweights in Josh and Robelis. Actually, Josh isn't wild, but Robelis is. But we don't know. Is he going to land 20 significant strikes? He's going to land 2. His last 3 fights, the combined total of time was like 19 seconds. 3 fights. That's how fast he's knocking people out. But Josh is tough. This is a step up. We're going to leave those alone. We are going to go to Rivals. What Rivals does, it is the fighters fighting each other. They have Cheeto and Sean O'Malley, and they're saying, who's going to land more significant strikes, Cheeto or Sean? And we know Sean's a more high-volume guy, so let's give Cheeto 24 strikes to start. I'm going to leave all of these alone. We already did the under a finish there. We'll scroll our way down. What I do love, we're going to go straight to the bottom. Joanne Wood and Maryna Moroz. This is a rematch. Maryna Moroz won this fight the first time. Congratulations to her. That was 9 years ago. This fight is going to be razor thin. They're the same fighter. And they're giving Joanne Wood 5.5 strikes. And if you go through their fight history, Joanne Wood lands at a higher volume than Maryna Moroz does. So I think Joanne Wood is going to land more total strikes, let alone they're giving her 5.5 to start. So I like this. This is my 5-slot entry. I already have it built. Let's go ahead and take a look. Here is that slot entry. We do have 2 lines that are underjuiced, so that will affect the payout. I did the insurance payout as I always do. It hit last week, and it'll hit again this week. If we look at it, we got the Curtis Blades fewer than 28.5 significant strikes. First of all, fewer is the way to say it. Lower is an incorrect term. Fewer is grammatically correct. So not only do I have a problem with Underdog Fantasy using chili peppers instead of bones for their juice lines, you're saying lower instead of fewer. I mean, come on, guys. Let's just, come on. We got to show these kids proper grammar. Fewer than 28.5 significant strikes on Curtis Blades. Actually, all of these are going to be fewer. Fewer than 1.5 takedowns for Kyler Phillips. Fewer than a half a finish. I'm just going to say Kevin Holland is not going to win by finish. Sean O'Malley is not going to win by finish. And then Joanne Wood getting 5.5 significant strikes in Rivals. This is my entry. You can like it. You can copy it. You can build your own. The most important thing you should do is get your free money. Like I said, you go to WeWantPicks.com/underdog. You use promo code WWP. They will instantly match your deposit. And that deposit match money is free to use that very second. You use it one time. If you win, you can withdraw that money. There's not a whole bunch of weird rollovers like some of the sports books do. This is daily fantasy. They're just giving you some juice to go play because they want you to play. They want you to love it. And they want you to keep coming back. So take the free money, build your entry. And then if you win, you can withdraw your real money. And now you just have house money chilling in your account. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP.